name's Livvy. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to take you on my journey through my heart valve surgery. So as I said, my name's Livvy. I live on the south coast of England and I have a husband who's lovely and a daughter who's even more lovely. They are both my huge support system, so I'm going to introduce you to my husband a little bit later on. Let me tell you about my story, my journey of what's happened to me and my valve. So I was born with it. Who knew? 6 years ago, I found out. I went to the doctors and they did a stethoscope check. It was something completely unrelated that I had gone for. But yeah, they did the stethoscope check. They heard a heart murmur. They asked me to go to the hospital and get it checked out. And so I went along, had an echocardiogram, and I was diagnosed there and then that day by a cardiologist. They said that I've got a bicuspid aortic valve and I also have an aneurysm deep within my heart. So at that point in time, I was asymptomatic. There was nothing wrong, nothing to think about, wouldn't be operated on for 20 odd years. Not a problem. I went away, didn't think about it again. But about 2 years ago, it all started to go a bit wrong. The symptoms started and I started becoming a lot more breathless and I got dizzy, I was passing out, I had terrible fatigue, and that all actually over these last 2 years has progressively just got worse and worse and worse. I'm going to talk to you in more detail later about how that impacts my family, but the journey that I was going on took me back to my cardiologist. He said, okay, we need to do some more tests. As with everything, tests take time to get booked in and sorted. The time frame that we were looking at was last August when these tests started. So I had, what did I have? I had, lots. X-rays, bloods, echocardiogram, CT scan with contrast. I had a stress test on a treadmill. Yeah, I'm not very good at running, so that was interesting. I had an angiogram where they put a catheter up through my wrist. That was interesting. So yeah, I've had all sorts of tests done. ECGs, X-rays, all sorts. And my cardiologist, I must say, he is absolutely, I'm so blessed to have him. He's fantastic. Yeah, so all the tests came back and he phoned me. Of course, we're in the middle of the pandemic. And so he rang me, he couldn't see me face to face, and he said, Livvy, looking at all of the test results, it is now time for us to hit the button. You need your operation. So I was referred through to a hospital on the south coast of England and I went in and I met the most lovely surgeon ever. He was really, really nice. And I said to him, you know, what does it involve? Is it full open heart surgery? Or can I have minimal invasive? And he said, no, you know, you do need to have full open heart. And I was like, oh, okay. Could I have the valve that I want? I wanted a specific kind of tissue valve. And he said, no, I'm so sorry, we don't do them. It will be a cow valve. So I went away and I sat down and I waited and I waited and I waited some more. And the second wave of COVID hit and it just, the waiting was just quite hideous, to be honest with you. In all of that time frame, of course, my symptoms were getting worse. And so, you know, the waiting game began. That is kind of the journey up until about a month ago. So in the next video, I'm going to talk to you about what happened a month ago. Hi, it's Friday and I have my operation on Monday coming, so not long now. I thought it'd be really interesting today to talk to you about my symptoms and the impact that they have on my life. So the first one I want to talk to you about is dizziness. I would say probably 80% of the time my head's always kind of fuzzy with some level of dizziness, and that will go right the way through from how I am kind of today, just a little bit dizzy and fuzzy, right the way through to sometimes I do actually pass out. It tends to mostly happen if I'm doing some level of elevation, or so if I'm walking up the stairs, sorry, or if I'm doing some kind of exercise. Now, I must admit, exercise does not happen anymore because it makes me feel terrible. But if I do walk up the stairs, I have to take it real careful, be slow, hold on to the banister. And then when I get upstairs and I have passed out, then luckily, I've always fallen forward, not backwards, otherwise that would be a whole different story. So dizziness is a big part of how this condition makes me feel. The next one that I want to talk to you about is breathlessness. So even sometimes having a conversation two-way with your friend, and if I'm doing a lot of the talking and my friend's being lovely and quiet and listening to me, I can actually start feeling that I'm getting out of breath and having to take bigger gasps of air. The other thing that I find with the breathlessness is that walking has become a real issue now. We've got to a point in the family where actually we've made a decision that I can't go on family walks. I started avoiding them, but we realised that actually you shouldn't avoid these things. You should recognise them and, you know, put something in place. So we went out and we bought a wheelchair. That was a really hard decision for me. It was hard because it kind of made me feel disabled, and yet I don't feel disabled in my head, you know, and so that was a really hard choice to make, but we made it, and actually I've got to say it's brilliant because now I can still enjoy family time, which is really special to me. So the last one I want to go through with you is about fatigue. Fatigue, okay, so I sleep in the afternoon. Big deal? Shouldn't be, should it? But I've got a family. I've got a young daughter who's only 9 years old and she's got Down syndrome. So if, excuse me, if I, you know, have a sleep in the afternoon, it affects her. She's alone. Who knows what she's doing? I don't have any control over that. And so I have to be very conscious not to, you know, well, it's not I can't have a sleep, I have to. The impact of that has been massive on my mental health. It's been massive on my husband, because he's either had to step in and take care of my daughter, or if he's been at work, of course he worries. And the big thing there as well is we've actually now had to involve social services so that they can help and give us a bit of respite. So the impact of those three symptoms on my life actually has been huge. Can't wait for it all to be over with, which is going to happen really soon. Hi, so we're on our way. My lovely husband is driving me and we're off up to London for my surgery. I go in tomorrow morning. I'm first on the list, so actually I really like that because I think that if you've got to wait round all morning, there's more chance of delay, but also more chance that if nerves are going to kick in, they might kick in then. So yeah, first on this tomorrow. How am I feeling? I'm feeling calm and relaxed. I have had some tears. Oh, I knew it was going to happen at some point, but we've just dropped off my daughter and I had to say, you know, goodbye to her, and I'm not one for big emotional goodbyes. It was more like a cheerio, see you later, love you, bye. But as soon as we drove away and she couldn't see me, that's when I had a little moment. So I'm glad I didn't wear mascara today. I have done so much preparation. I have been preparing for, as you know, I've had a long time. I've been preparing for months and months and months for this, and I have done everything that I can think of to make this go as smoothly as I can, and for me to be as in control as I can be. I like to be in control, and I like to have things sorted to how I want them. So I've even done things like, it's a difficult subject, so I'm not going to go there too much, but if the worst was to happen, I have done a funeral plan, and I've also written a little will, so nothing too heavy, just a bit of, you know, I'd like this to happen, or I want this to go to that person, just stuff like that, just so that I know that I have fully prepared myself for everything. With my mental health, I've been doing lots and lots and lots of meditation the last few days, and I've also been really trying hard to live in the moment. So at this moment in time, I'm in a car, I'm with my husband, we're driving up to London, I'm all right, I'm safe and I'm happy. And that's what I'm concentrating on. I'm not forward thinking and I'm not reflecting back at all. When I had my moment with my daughter, that's done. And tomorrow, that'll be what that will be. So I'm living for now. And I'm actually finding that really helps. So yeah, lots of mindfulness, lots of keeping myself present in the moment. I might have had quite a lot of sneaky chocolate, which isn't good because I'm a diabetic, so, you know, not great. I should have been taking care of my body a little bit better. But you know what, actually, over the last few months, since November time, I would say, I've actually lost over 2 stone, so I've done good. So it's 9 o'clock at night and I am tired. I think because it's been a long day, I'm just, I don't know, I think the nerves are starting to come in a little bit. My tummy feels a little bit tingly in there. I've tried meditating, that has helped a little bit. I'm gonna try and now settle down. I think everything's done for the night. So I think I'm gonna now just try and settle down and do more meditation, try and remain present. At this time I'm in bed, I'm safe and I'm all right. I'm gonna really try hard, but I think actually, I think it's gonna take some effort. Oh, part of me wants to run away, but I know I can't. It would be so counterproductive to act on how I feel. So I just have to try and literally, I'm going to have to try and get through now every minute and just try and get this done. In 3 months' time, I'm going to be mended. That's what I've got to remember. So it's about 6 o'clock in the morning of the operation and I actually managed to get some sleep last night, which is good. I did have a wobble yesterday, but luckily, hour and a half, maybe 2 tops. And I managed to pull myself out of it by doing meditation and mindfulness, and just, you know, trying to really focus on the here and now rather than thinking about the future. I'm not worried about my operation. That is what it is and I kind of accept that and I'm okay with it. I think the thing that made me sort of feel a bit panicky yesterday, like, you know, when you get the horrible butterflies in your tummy and just, oh, I just wanted to run away. And that's all to do with what's ICU going to be like? What if I hate it and I can't stop it and I have no control? So I think this is definitely a bit of a control thing. Hi there, so I'm in ICU, it's in the morning. I'm not sure, I think I came to ICU about midday yesterday and I've done so well with my stats that they said that I'm going to be allowed to go to high dependency today, which is I'm really pleased about. I think as far as I'm aware the operation went really well yesterday. They didn't need to do the root enlargement, so that's good. This morning I've not been too bad. I had just one little moment I had a little panic attack because I had a drink and it didn't go down the right way and I needed to cough, and then that scared me, and so that was just, you know, nothing really. It was dealt with very quickly. I got a little bit of chest pain, but I've got a button that I can press and I do, and it doesn't make me feel odd at all, which is good. I've got you know, thing in my neck, which just helps them to take blood tests, etc. I would say all in all I don't feel too bad, and just, you know, what brilliant step, what a brilliant place I'm in at the moment, because now I've got a new part to my heart and I get to live, you know, longer than for what was predicted, under 2 years, and I get to go, when I get home and I get mended, I can play with my little girl, and I'm just focusing so much on the good positive stuff, but also I'm focusing a lot on what's happening right now, and that seems to be working absolute wonders, so I'm really pleased. I wanted to tell you about the breathing tube. That was one of the things before the operation that I was really nervous about happening. However, I have a very vague memory of it, but not even enough to tell you about it. It must have happened when I was coming round, but I didn't notice it, and it's certainly, reflecting back, I shouldn't have worried, but you never know, do you, when it's when you think about the future and you don't know what that's like, then there is that element of worry. But all I can say to you honestly, I went through that yesterday and I don't remember it, and so it couldn't have been that traumatic, could it? Otherwise you'd remember it. So yeah, please, in the future, don't worry about that sort of thing. The doctor has just been round and said that I'm well enough to go up to high dependency. To assess that, I had to obviously have all of my stats and everything in a good place, but I also had to just do a little cough. So I had to hold the chest pillow into my chest and cough a little bit, and he was happy. I also had to have eaten breakfast, and he thinks I'm doing really well. So yeah, I'm feeling happy and positive. The operation was yesterday, so today is day one. I've now been moved up to high dependency, and it's about just gone lunchtime, and they've already managed to get me sat up in a chair. That's just amazing. I'm so chuffed. That was one thing that I had to do today to complete all of the checklist for today's activities. So I'm going to sit here for a little while and enjoy it, and then get back into bed. And it was no hardship. There was a lot of, getting the wires and the tubes and all that kind of thing in the right place, but apart from that, not painful at all. Really chuffed. So I've just had my drainage tubes removed. Not tubes, tube one. There was only one in there. It wasn't as bad as it kind of feels like it's made out to be. Sure, I had to grit my teeth, but that literally only lasted 2 seconds whilst they did the procedure, so it really wasn't bad at all. I do feel a little bit overwhelmed now, but that's because I've just had that done and I've had my tea, and I just feel like a lot's gone on in a short space of time. So now I'm just going to rest for the rest of the evening and just try and meditate and just try and calm myself down a little bit. But I'm not stressed because of what's happened. I think I'm stressed because a lot's happened, if you know what I mean. It's Wednesday today. I had a really rough night last night because my back went into some kind of spasm, so it was just really painful, and pain meds don't really work apparently with spasms, so it was just a bit of a difficult night. And today I think I'm going to just sleep lots and lots and lots and just try and catch up and recover a bit. Hi there, so I've transferred to the step down unit. That's 8 o'clock in the evening on Thursday today. So what are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days since the operation. So yeah, I feel okay today. I have felt quite internally hot, and yet all of my stats are coming back clear. So it is what it is. I've had, as you can see, my little lines taken out today, so that was, I needed to lay on the bed for about an hour. But also today they've got me doing lots of breathing exercises, so it's been good to open up the lungs and actually get my oxygen level stats to a point where I don't have to wear oxygen in anymore. So I'm really pleased. All in all, good day. So it's Friday today. I just wanted to do a quick little video because I have been a bit emotional this morning. I had a good night's sleep last night, so that was really good, but the lady in the bed opposite, she has gone down for exactly the same operation today, and
I genuinely feel that something that I said earlier in the week was wrong. I had said that maybe I feel hard done by because of my age, and you know, it shouldn't happen to me at my age and all that kind of thing. And actually, do you know what? No matter when it happens to you, what age you are, it's tough. It's a real big thing to get your head round. And I just, you know, want to kind of make that correction today and just say that no matter what age you are, going through it is a big deal, and it is tough. Now, the great thing is I know that this lady's going to be okay, because if she has a recovery, you know, like I have, which of course I hope she does, then it's going to be not too bad. Yes, you get your moments that really you would prefer not to have in life, but the majority of the time, it's like I say, it's alright. I think today is day 4 post-op, so it's Friday. I think today my dressing comes off. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Obviously I will let them do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to look, but I don't really understand why not, because, you know, it should be absolutely fine. Hi, so today is Sunday and they've said I'm going to be allowed to go home. I'm so excited. Lee's on his way up as we talk, so he's going to drive up from Portsmouth to collect me. And yeah, I've got all my medication sorted. I've seen a physiotherapist today who's talked to me about doing stairs and how much I've got to walk each day, cardiac rehab, all that kind of thing. I've had the doctors come round. I've had the all clear on my x-rays for water on the heart and air stuck in my lung. That's all cleared, I think, now, so that's really good. His exact words were, your x-rays were perfect, so you can't get much better than that. I'm really happy. How do I feel emotionally? I feel ready to leave. The comfort of being here, knowing that I'm being monitored, has been fantastic, and that element of it will be hard to not have anymore, because you've got people here that are so skilled, but being able to be home, I think, will just be better for me in general. So yes, I have had a cry. Happy tears, definitely happy tears. So I'm out, I'm in the car, I'm going home. I feel fragile, both mentally and physically. We went over a speed bump a minute ago and that scared me, but it was okay. I feel fragile mentally just because I was safe in there. There was medical teams everywhere. If anything happened, I knew I could get help. And now I'm kind of going to be out there in the big wide world alone with just me and my family. So it's nerve-wracking, but I can definitely feel that I've got a new bit in my heart. It is thumping away. So I've been home 1 week today. It's Sunday. So the first week, how's it been? There's been a lot of times where I'm just very bored, in all honesty. I don't do being bored very well, and so I've been quite grumpy, I think, this week. My first shower was possibly the most hideous thing I've ever had to do in my life, and I did at one point decide that I was going to be a smelly hippie and never wash again. But that lasted a day, and then I tried again for another shower and it was absolutely fine. Definitely having a shower seat helped, and I definitely needed help with all of my showers this week. So yeah, really definitely needed a lot of help. The whole week's been a bit unremarkable. Nothing much has happened. I've slept loads. My appetite is back to normal. I've been taking my pain medication. Definitely when my pain medication is running out, I can feel that it's running out. So yeah, that I've definitely had to keep on top of that very strictly. What was the other thing I was going to tell you? Oh, yesterday, I mean, gosh, it was like I took 3 steps back yesterday. I slept nearly all day. I felt exhausted. I was burning up and then I was freezing cold. I just had a really weird day. I know that our respite worker came in and she popped in to see me. I don't know what we talked about. It's a complete blur. It was really weird. But today I kind of feel back on top form. I'm out. I've been out for a walk already this morning. Just up to the local newsagent and back. And yeah, this afternoon I should go out for another nice walk. Not walking far, but walking far enough. Brilliant. I'll speak to you soon. Hi, so it's exactly 1 month since surgery. Week 3 was quite difficult because week 3 or week 2? Week 3, because I ended up in A&E. So I went into AFib, got blue lighted straight into A&E and spent the whole night in there. And then they have made a decision that they're not going to do anything about it, but just, you know, watchful waiting, see how often, if at all, it ever happens again, and take it from there. So that was a tough week because emotionally it sent me downhill really quickly. I've also been struggling a lot, and this is still right up till today, with back pain. So a lot of people get back pain, I think, from the position they put you in on the table. I think there's probably an element of that with mine, but also I had an accident 6 years ago where I needed, excuse me, I needed a shoulder operation, and it seems to have reignited that problem. So I think there's probably a bit of a combo going on there. They have stopped one of my pain medications but not given me an alternative, and so that's been quite difficult. I spoke to a doctor again yesterday about it, and he has now agreed to give me something different. So I'm going to be starting to take something called cocodamol, as well as that's going to be on an ad hoc basis when my back gets really bad. But apart from that, I'm on paracetamol for painkillers, so that's good. A month today since I had my operation, and last night I had my first full night's sleep, which was lovely. 9 o'clock at night through to 5 o'clock in the morning. Amazing. I am still sleeping in my recliner chair. That seems to be the only place that I can actually sleep properly. I haven't tried sleeping in bed yet, but I've tried going up and just resting, and even though it's nice, it's not anywhere near as comfy as the recliner. So definitely, you know, the recliner's the way to go for me. So lots been happening. I've been trying to get out and do some walking. I have spoken to cardiac rehab and I've got my first appointment, so that's really good. I've had my you know, my 2-week checkup with the doctor's surgery. I've got my appointment come through for my 6-week checkup for the hospital, and majority of things seem to be going really well. My scar's looking really good. Let me show you. Look at that. That's looking brilliant. And just one little thing on my neck here, which is where I had those tubes in, if you remember. So yeah, everything's going really well. I'm really happy, and I slept the whole night. It was lovely. Take care. Speak soon. Bye. Hi, so it's week 7 post-op. I feel like I've not spoken to you for ages, but it has been a couple of weeks now. So week 5, what happened on week 5? Well, I kind of started to feel like I was feeling lazy because I was lounging around a lot still and not doing very much. I think that was the very beginning of turning a corner in my health, because I was starting to want to do stuff but didn't have the confidence to actually do things. But that is now starting to change. So I think that kind of feeling of laziness on week 5 was really the start of, you know, things changing for me, which is lovely. On week 5, I also spoke to the pharmacist and I talked to her a lot about my back pain. That is still, even at week 7, that's incredibly painful. She has now put me on codeine, which is good. And she also confirmed that the operation, quite unexpectedly, has taken me into the full menopause, which is why she's thinking that I've gained the weight and the night sweats and all of that kind of thing are happening. So that was week 5. Week 6, I definitely turned a corner. I definitely started to feel much better. I also had my 6-week checkup with the hospital, up in London, and that was really good. The guy was lovely. He asked me a couple of questions, and then he let me ask all of my questions, which I had hundreds, as you can imagine. We talked about a few things which I thought might be of interest to you. My memory, I'm really struggling with it. It's short-term memory loss that I'm having, and I can have conversations and literally completely forget them. That's still going on. He thinks that will get better in time, but it is something he's heard of, so you know, it's not a big problem. It would take 3 to 6 months for my chest bone, my sternum, to fully mend. So within 3 months it's pretty good. Within 6 months it's actually stronger than somebody who's never had it broken. So, you know, 6 months down the line, that would be amazing. And he has put me on 4 more weeks of lifting restrictions, so no heavy lifting for another 4 weeks. Week 7, that was yesterday, because today is Tuesday, and I have started being able to carefully, very carefully sleep on my side, because I am a side sleeper. So I'm out of the recliner, I've got back up into the bedroom, and yeah, sleeping on my side. So it's really good. I'm definitely starting to sleep better, but not fully on my side. I'm kind of half on my back, half on my side, and I've got hundreds of pillows in bed, which really doesn't help. Doesn't help at all with the night sweats. I've got my appointment come through for cardiac rehab. I go my first one's next week, so I'm really looking forward to that. But my weight gain, gosh, 9 pounds in 7 weeks. That's quite concerning for me, not only because obviously I don't want to put weight on, but because also I'm diabetic, so I really have to focus, concentrate, and see if I can get that off over the next few months, definitely. So yeah, things are going well. I'm feeling good. Oh, would you like to look at my scar? Hang on. I think it's looking really good. You know, I'm really pleased with that. So yeah, things are good. Hi there. So Monday today, 10 weeks post-op, and I've decided that I'm going to start trying to come out and do a bit of walking. I started cardiac rehab last week, and actually it was really good fun. The people were really nice there. You had 3 nurses and 5 people. They checked our blood pressure and our pulse rate all the way through the exercises, so that was really good. Yeah, it's definitely something I would recommend, and it's definitely something that I'm going to continue going to. I think I'm on like an 8-week course or something. So yeah, really good. I get good days and I still get bad days. Yesterday with my pain was a bad day. I'm still getting terrible shoulder pain, but my chest is feeling quite good. So that's really nice. So yeah, just thought I'd come and show you where I was today. It's really pretty down here. Isn't that lovely? So I've made it down here. I've just had a little sit down, and now I'm gonna walk back home and try and do a little bit of housework today as well. So definitely on the mend. Hi there. Well, what a journey it's been. Thank you so much for coming along and watching what I've been up to over the last few months. It's been a long, incredibly hard journey for me. There's been some ups and downs, but we've got through, and you know, it's been lovely that I've actually been able to share that with you. I really hope that you're able to gain something out of my experience, and you know, I hope others are able to as well in the future. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and take care of yourselves.